You ready to worship? All of divine. Oh, sweet. Shout yes. Shout yes. For love I serve. Jesus. Clap your hands for Jesus. The anointing God has declared this Sabbath as deliverance and breakthrough. Oh Lord. I don't know what you came about, but I came for a deliverance. I came for a breakthrough. I came for a fresh anointing. For love and just lift your hands in the atmosphere and just say something to God. Say something to God. Whatever you desire today, God has declared that it's your time. Oh Lord, whatever it may be, God has declared it is your time. Oh. He is worthy. You may be seated in the presence of the Lord. And deliverance is in this house today. I love Him. Oh Jesus. And deliverance is in this house today. pray. Amen. The deliverance and breakthrough. I know that God is not slack concerning His promise. Amen. Amen. Today, can you tell the preacher down there to be quiet? It's my time to preach. Give her a lollipop or something. Amen. Today, as we're faced with a word, and God has given me this word today. And it's always how marvelous it is when God does what He does, or do what He does, whichever way it's proper. Amen. Amen. And when I check how good God is, it allows me to be constant in praise. It allows me to be constant in prayer. When I look at all that God had allowed me to accomplish over a day, I thank God for His mercies. And many times we accomplish, Bishop, we think it's by ourselves that we have accomplished all that we have. And I don't want to talk about accomplishment over the years, because all things are passed away. Behold, all things become new. So today I want to talk about the newness. I don't want to talk about what I had already done. I want to talk about what I am doing now and what God will allow me to do. I wish I had a church. Now I will not be messing with your word today, as I had asked God for a word to deliver the saints and myself. And I, myself, an overseer was bouncing some words off me the other day for being for the prior breakfast, and it was so mind-boggling that she had the same chapter that I wanted to talk about today. But I'm glad the prior breakfast is all the way in 2 months' time, so I still can go today. Come on, shaking everything, get ready for a word. Today, it is my time for a miracle. I wish I had the church. That's what I want to talk about today, Bishop. How desperate are you for a miracle? But my subheading today today, it is my time for a miracle. And I don't know how desperate you are for a miracle, but I am thirsty. I am hungry. I am in a drought. I am in the desert. My throat is parched. My body is dehydrated. I am in line for my miracle. It's my time. I ain't gonna tell nobody it's your time, it's your time. I know it's my time. And I'm claiming this time to be my time. It is my season for a miracle. So many mountains I have crossed. Once already I've crossed the hot burning desert. So I am thirsty for a miracle. I wish I had a church. So allow me today to embellish this word with the book of 2 Kings chapter 4. Amen. And we know the story very well. And now they're crying a certain, you may be seated, don't worry about it. Now they're crying a certain woman of the wife of the sons of the prophet of Elijah, saying, thy servant, my husband, is dead. And thou knowest that the servant did fear the Lord, and the creditors is come to take unto him my 2 sons to be bondmen. And Elisha said unto her, what shall I do for thee? Tell me, what hast thou in thy house? And she said, thine handmaid hath not anything in thy house, save a pot of oil. Then he said, go borrow the vessels abroad of all thy neighbors, even empty vessels, borrow not a few. And when thou art come in the house, thou shut the door upon thee and upon thy son, and shall pour out into all those vessels, and thou shalt set aside that is full. So she went from him and shut the door upon her and her sons, and brought themselves to her. And she poured out, and it came to pass, when the vessels were full, that she said unto them, bring me yet a vessel. And he said unto her, there is not a vessel more. And the oil stayed. Then she came and told the man of God, and he said, go sell the oil and pay thy debt, and live thou out and thy children of the rest. And it fell on the day that Elisha passed the Shunem, where was a great woman, and she constrained him to eat bread. And so it was that as he passed by, he turned into thither to eat bread. And she said unto her husband, behold now, I perceive that this is a holy man of God, which passes by us continually. Let us make a little chamber, I pray thee, on the wall, and let us set for him there a bed, and a table, and a stool, and a candlestick. And it shall be when he cometh to us, that he shall turn in thither. And it fell on a day that he came in, and he turned into the chamber and lay there. And he said to Gehazi, his servant, call the Shunammite. And when he had called her, she stood before him. And he said unto him, say now unto her, behold, thou hast been careful for us with all this care. What is to be done to thee? Will it thou be spoken for to the king or to the captain of the host? And she answered, I dwell among my own people. And he said, what then is to be done for her? And Gehazi answered, verily she hath no child, and her husband is old. And he said, call her. And when he had called her, she stood in the door. And he said about the season according to the time of life, thou shalt embrace a son. And she said, nay, my Lord, thou man of God, do not lie unto thine handmaid. And the woman conceived and bare a son at the season that Elisha had said unto her, according to the time of life. And when the child was grown, it fell on the day that he went out to his father, to the reapers. And he said unto his father, my head, my head. And he said to the lad, carry him to his mother. And when he had taken him, he brought him to his mother, and sat on her knees till noon, and then died. And she went up and laid him on the bed of the man of God, and shut the door upon him, and went out. And she called out her husband and said, send me, I pray thee, one of the young men and one of the asses, that I may run to the man of God and come again. And he said, wherefore wilt thou go to him today? It is neither new moon nor Sabbath. And she said, it shall be well. Then she saddled an ass and said to her servant, drive and go forward, slack not thy riding for me, except I bid thee. So she went and came into the man of God, Mount Carmel. And it came to pass, when the man of God saw her afar off, that he said to Gehazi, his servant, behold, yonder is the Shunammite. Run now, I pray thee, to meet her, and say unto her, it is well with thee. It is well with thy husband. Is it well with thy husband? Is it well with the child? And she answered, it is well. And when she came to the man of God, to the hill, she caught him by the feet. But Gehazi came near and thrust her away. And the man of God said, let her alone, for her soul is vexed within her, and the Lord hath hid it from me, and has not told me. Then she said, did I desire a son of my Lord? Did I not say, do not deceive me? Then he said to Gehazi, gird out thy loins, and take my staff in thine hand, and go thy way. If thou meet any man, salute him not. And if any salute thee, answer him not again, and lay my staff upon the face of the child. And the mother of the child said, as the Lord liveth, and as thy soul liveth, I will not leave thee. And he arose and followed her. And Gehazi passed on before them, and laid the staff upon the face of the child. But there was neither voice nor hearing. Wherefore he went again to meet him, and told him, saying, the child is not awake. And when Elijah was come into the house, behold, the child was dead, and laid upon his bed. He went in therefore, and shut the door upon them twain, and prayed unto the Lord. And he went upon and lay upon the child, and put his mouth on his mouth, and his eyes upon his eyes, his hand upon his hand, and he stretched himself upon the child, and the flesh of the child waxed warm. Then he returned and walked in the house to and fro, and went up and stretched himself upon him and the child sneezed 7 times. And the child opened his eyes, and he called Gehazi and said, "Call the Shunammite." So he called her, and when she was come unto him, he said, "Take up thy son." Then she went in and fell at his feet and bowed herself to the ground and took up her son and went out. And Elisha came again to Gilead. Come on, shout amen. Come on, shout amen. See, a lot of folks hate long readings, you see. But let us understand now that miracles are the act of God. Amen. Miracles are favor that is granted unto a desired heart. You dare not get a miracle without desire. So let us know now the miraculous attribute they were attributed to Jesus. So if we understand how miracle works, then we understand that we would have to be one with the miracle worker, if we understand that. Now, there are a lot of healing and deliverance and breakthroughs that take place within the words of God. And we have to understand now that there once was a time when Jesus refused to work any form of miracle to stamp his authority. Why? Because at his name, everything becomes different. So he would not have to do anything great for him to be seen as the man in authority. But many folks would understand who he is and where he came from and what he came about, because then John would have spoken about Jesus before his coming. As we understand that John was in the wilderness preaching, "Prepare ye the way of the Lord, make thy path straight." So many others were thinking then, Bishop, that John was the Messiah because of what he was allowed to do. But come to the point, John says, when he recognized that the authority was given unto him, he could not receive said authority. So he said, "Now look, there is one that is coming who is mightier than I, whose straps are not even worth